so easy to blame other people. It's so easy to blame places. It's so easy to blame things for why things aren't going the way you want them to go in your life. But that's not good. And this is why you feel down. This is why you feel like you aren't in control of your life. You got to start taking responsibility, and you got to start taking ownership for the good, for the bad that's going on in your life. Once you start taking ownership, once you start realizing that you are responsible for all the situations going on in your life, it sets you free. It makes you feel a lot better about yourself. It makes you feel like you are stronger. You are in more control of what's going on here. You're no longer relying on other people. You're no longer waiting on other people. You're no longer waiting on things. You're no longer waiting on places. You're no longer waiting on the economy. You're no longer waiting on this person. You're no longer waiting on that person. You are in control. You're going to set yourself up for good things. See, so many people, myself in the past included, this. I used to be like this before I started self-improving, before I started realizing, man, every situation that has gone bad in my life has ultimately come back down to a bad decision that I made. Me getting a little messed up on the weekend, and then I do something bad, and then I get in a little bit of trouble, or there's some trouble that comes of it. That comes back to me. I chose to put myself in that position, and that's why all these bad things are happening. Or you're relying on your job to get a promotion. Did you show up to work on time? Were you early? Were you working your hardest? Were you doing the things that you can do to get that promotion? Because sometimes the reality of life, you're not always going to get your promotion. You're not always going to get that next level, no matter how hard you work, and that's okay. Then you can take responsibility. What do I got to do better the next time? What do I got to... This makes you learn from your mistakes. That's the first point of why taking responsibility for your own life, realizing that you are in control of your own life, is so beneficial. Because then you realize that what you did in the past, you can learn from it. Okay, this time I'm not going to do it this way. This time I'm going to do it this way. This time I'm going to show up to work early. I'm going to work harder than anyone, and I'm going to be the last one to leave the office, or something like that. Whatever you're working towards, or if you're making a YouTube channel, or you're making videos, or you're creating content, or you're working on a side hustle. Now, if it didn't go out, if the business or the side hustle or your YouTube channel isn't going out the way that you want it to go, let's take a step back and let's look at all our steps and realize what we're doing wrong and why it's preventing us from getting to that next level, from getting to the next step, from getting to where you want to be in life. This is why taking responsibility for your own life, this is why taking ownership of what's going on in your life is so powerful, because then you realize what you can learn from your mistakes. You're no longer blaming other people. I'm this way because of that person. You know how dumb that sounds? You know how stupid that sounds? Blaming other people for your mishaps? That's crazy. You sound like a little 5-year-old kid blaming other people. You can't do that. Grow up. Take responsibility for your own life, because this is what's going to make you have some confidence. This is what's going to make you feel good about yourself. Think about it. If you're working towards a relationship, if you're working towards anything like that, right? If you can't take responsibility for yourself, how are you going to take responsibility for somebody else? Or if you want some kids, if you can't take responsibility for your own life, how are you going to take responsibility for somebody else? This is why taking responsibility, it gives you a sense of pride. It gives you a sense of urgency. This is like my life. I'm going to take it serious because I only have one life, right? Same with you. You only have one life. So I'd rather take responsibility for my own life, not blame anybody else, and realize that I am in control. Excuse that spit. I am in control of what I learn. I am in control of what I do. I'm in control of what I say. I'm in control of everything going on here. So I'm going to put myself in good positions to get to that next step, to get to that next level, to get to where I need to be. This is why it sets you free. It gives you it makes you feel good about life, because then you realize that you can do anything that you want to be. You can become anything that you want to be. You can do whatever you want to do. And that excites you. This is why it gives you freedom. This is why it makes you feel so much more powerful once you start taking responsibility for your own life. Because like I said earlier in the video, it's such a childish thing to do, to start blaming other people for your mishaps. You're the one that chose to do that bad thing. You're the one that chose to put yourself in that bad situation for these falling outs of that situation to happen. You put yourself in that position. Take responsibility for it. Don't blame other people, because once you start taking responsibility for it, you're going to start feeling like an adult. You're going to start feeling like a man. You're going to start feeling like a woman, because then you can start realizing, I'm going to get better from this point on. I know what I got to do to get to that next step. I know what I got to do, because like I said earlier in the video, man, no one's coming to save you. No one's coming to help you. No one's going to show you. You may ask somebody for help, but they can only lead you to water. It's just like leading, like they can only lead you to the water. They're not going to drink the water for you. They can't shove it down your, like, if they really wanted to, they could. But you got to take responsibility for everything that's going on in your life. And once you start doing that, you're going to start feeling a sense of freedom. And once you start feeling that sense of freedom, you start feeling like you are in control. And once you start feeling like you are in control, the world is yours. The world is yours. So let's start taking responsibility for it. Let's stop blaming other people. Let's stop blaming places. Let's stop blaming things. Because once we stop doing that, once we start being who we are, once we start embracing what we did, once we start learning from those mistakes, we're going to start becoming a better person. We're going to start achieving our goals. We're going to start achieving our dreams because we took responsibility of what we got going on, and nobody else is responsible for that. It's your boy T signing out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.